Hey everyone, how's it going? It is either Real Randy Chavez coming up here today with a Vvomi update video. We'll do a little Grumpycat as well. Guys, if you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. I love y'all. Everyone say hello to Dashie. Hello, Dashie. Commenting, liking, and subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon and smashing that super thanks button down below, becoming a member as well. And then you do have the amazing Steve Cannon photography. This is the last photo. Well, this is my photo, but there's three of them like this. I have one. Another one had sold. There is one left. Normally he charges about 25K for them. This is at 15,000, but you can get it for 12,000 if you pay in OMI. Part of the proceeds do go to Best Friends Animal Society. Together we can save them all. Anyway, we have a lot to go over today. So I do want to start with Grumpycat before anything. It has been slowly but steadily over the last month. We actually went down to, I think, like less than a $3 million market cap at one point, which is down from about 30 million. Had a meteoric rise, meteoric fall, slowly but surely, 3.5 million, down a little bit, 4 million, down a little bit, 4.5 million now, up 6.24% over on the day. And we have, I know a couple of the different wallets, or I know most of the top wallets except for one, they're all ready to buy a little bit more, trying to get on some more exchanges. We have the approvals to go get on more exchanges, just kind of waiting for the volume and the wallets to go out a little bit. So I don't know when, but if we can get that done, whew, that's gonna rock it. So me and my boy, we have about 3 trillion of that together between me and him. He has most of that. I only put in like 7 grand. I didn't put in a ton with that. But that, it seems like as things are starting to move and we have a couple people ready to go in, that could, I don't want to say outperform OMI, but in short term, that could be one of the greatest things that I have done. We'll keep you posted. And when it goes up, a good amount of those profits are going to go into OMI and some into Veve. More on that later. But speaking of the OMI, we do happen to have a pretty decent day, and me and another whale friend of mine are going to go and buy a little bit more over the next 24 hours. It's an OTC deal that we're doing with a friend. He just doesn't like big exchanges for whatever reason. The exchange is sketchy, whatever. He's like, hey, could we just do it between us? I was like, okay. So we've done it before, slowly but steadily. It's like 5.4 million OMI, I think, for like 4,000. So it's just saving a couple $100 on it. So that won't really affect the price because we're just doing OTC. We're not doing it from the market. But from then on, we will be able to go and get start buying OMI again probably after Comic-Con. And then at some point we have a Comic-Con. We're gonna have something. We didn't have Monopoly, so they came out today and they said, hey, this is Propagandist, which is Ron English's brand that he does. It's like a variation of the Monopoly Man. Thought that's really cool. It says Mogul, which I thought was fun. And instead of Monopoly, if you go and you get one of those, so this is one of the announcements I thought we might get at New York Comic Con. They announced it today. If you get one of those, you actually get an invite to a Veve party. Now, there are multiple parties happening at New York Comic Con week. One of which is going to be on, I don't know if I could say which date yet. One of which is going to be on the day that they have the party. I don't think they've released the date yet. That one, you can either go one of two ways. The first wave of people that get invited are people that have the gold and silver Veve logo holders. Anyone that has that, they can go. They get first dibs. After that, anyone that buys this Propagandist Monopoly Man type thing, I'll show you the name real quick. It's a... we have the Medium article, not the Medium article, I don't know why I say that anymore. We haven't had Medium for a while. So it's the Ron English Mogul Grin, that's what it is. And there's a picture of it. It looks really cool. I'd like that as a tattoo, that'd be fun. So I really like the lore about this, saying, Mogul Grin is everyone's favorite billionaire. All he wants is everything, too much is not enough. When he points and grins at you, well, you know what to do. Maybe he will make you rich too. I like that little limerick they have there. So there's a couple of these guys. There's one listed at, is not listed yet, but they drop on the 29th. So that is Friday? Yes, that is a Friday. They are $30, so they are relatively cheap. A lot of his stuff usually is. I really like that. This little guy, the one that looks most like the Monopoly Man, that has 1,444 editions. This other one that looks like a Plants vs. Zombies Monopoly Man, that's a bit less at 1,111. And then this guy with the gold grills, I heckin' love that. That's one I really want. Of course, it's a secret rare. Only 666 of them, which actually means 576 because Veve keeps 90 of them. that's just another. These will probably sell out, not because these are. I mean, these do look really cool, but these will probably sell out just because you have a bunch of people in New York that are going to go and say, "Oh, hey, I want to go. I want to go to this party. I can't afford $5,000 for a logo." There was another logo that got listed today at 4,500. It literally got bought up in like 4 hours. I I wanted to get it, but I was like, ugh, it was too much. I wanted to buy OMI. I had a bunch of other stuff going on. I might get a little more Grumpycat too while we're down here. But again, it got bought in just a couple hours. So not many people had $5,000 to get to that gold logo in order to get to this party. Even though it'll get you like $1,000 worth of mints, $1,000 worth of airdrops. Because if you didn't have one, if you didn't go to Decon last year, you can get the Frankenfat. You can get the 2 gold monkeys from Ron English this year. And then you'll be able to also get the new gold and silver logo that they're going to give to people that have the OG gold and silver logo. So you do get, that's going to be like over $1,000 worth of things, which is really heckin' awesome. So in order to get to that party, people are going to be buying this. And I do think that was a little bit of a mistake, because when Veve went and said that, so to my knowledge, there are 60-something gold logo holders that are, I know, that are waitlisted for that party. They have those invites. So when talking about this, there's a ton of these. Let's get it on the drop entry to Veve. All right, so they actually said the date. It is October 12th, so that's a Thursday. That is one of the parties. That's the first major party of the week. And when they say anyone can go and get entry to the Veve party if you get it on the drop, there's going to be hundreds of people that are going to get this. And I hope that Veve realizes this, that there's probably not going to be enough room. I don't care what venue you get. It's New York City. Unless you rent out a bowling alley, like the entire bowling alley, which they may or may not do, that's a lot. And that's definitely going to be a fire hazard. Like, let's say alley has 48 lanes. So let's say 50 lanes, which there definitely doesn't have that much. But let's say for this, it is. And let's say you have, 3 people on each lane. So 150 people. It's really not a lot. Even if 4 people on each lane, okay, 200 people. That's not enough. Like that's not enough. And that's if everyone bowls. Everyone's going to be in like the karaoke room, going to be at the bar. I don't know what type of venue they're going to have in order to fulfill this. This is massive. I hope they know what they're doing. Anywho, moving on. Lots of other stuff to go over. So Brock McBlockchain had gone on today and was talking about just his Feesh, expanding the universe and all that. And there was a couple of giveaways that he's going to do. If you have a Web3 Feesh and you go to feeshes.com and you see what mint numbers they are, he posted over on his Twitter or on his X account saying, hey, 4 people are going to get sub 41s. They're going to get, number 40 of each of them. I don't know which mint numbers they are. You just go to his X. I can tell you right now. All right, the mint numbers are 1013, 1881, 2032, and 617. Those are the ones that if you have a Web3 Feesh, those numbers, you get a sub 41 mint. I don't know who has those. I might even have one of those. I don't know. Check on your Feesh to see those mint numbers. And if you do, you are going to get a sub 41 Feesh, which is heckin' awesome. Also, apparently BitBoy got arrested on air. So everyone comment F down below to pay respects to BitBoy and his once thriving career. Anywho, moving on here. So Nexus over on the X reports, hey, Brock McBreadcat, can't wait to see people take the Feeshes from Veve Official on a walk. And it comes from somebody that has a backpack, but it's a light up backpack, and you can choose what character you have. I don't think it's like an amiibo or anything. Obviously, that's Mario. But that's really cool. So Guy Biza says, yo gamers, have you seen this? Love this Super Mario Bros. Backpack. Rate it 1 to 10. Hashtag gaming consoles. Hashtag whatever. I think that'd be really cool if we had something like that for our, whether it's Feesh, whether our other Veve NFTs. I think those would be really fun to get, to be able to show, oh, he's got Secret Rare Spider-Man. Speaking of which, Secret Rare Spider-Man yesterday was surpassed by the gold logo. Now, the gold logo was at $5,000. Secret Rare Spider-Man was at $4,999. So it was literally by 1 gem. So they're pretty much the same. And then today, when the $4,500 logo was put up, okay, Spider-Man stays above it. But then the $4,500 logo was bought, And then the Spidey logo, or not the Spidey logo, the actual Spider-Man collectible, the secret rare, it actually went and got just a tad lower. When it went a tad lower, I was like, okay, is anyone going to buy this? It went to like $4,800 or $4,799. So it didn't go down by a ton. But taking a look at it now, it's still that price. It's still at the 40, or it's $47.95. So pretty much that price. It's wild how you have the world's biggest IP. Like, Spider-Man is the most popular superhero, and he's getting outperformed by a Veve logo. Nobody knows who Veve is, but that's what happens when you put mass utility on there. That's what happens when you get an insanely strong community. Now, obviously, I don't expect this to continue. I do expect Secret Rare Spider-Man to one day again surpass the Veve logo. How long will it be? I don't know. It's possible that, Spidey could go and get go down even further, going down to 4.5 thousand, before it starts to rise again. And the logo could go up to 6,800, 6,500, whatever, before it comes back down, if it comes back down. But at the end of the day, as much as I love the logo, I have two logos. I don't have any Spider-Man. That once people catch on, in my opinion, that Spider-Man, I think that goes to well over six figures again. Which would be a nice 20x from here for it. So that'd be really cool. I think it doesn't just go to 100,000. I think it goes to a little bit higher. Now, obviously, this is not financial advice. Speaking of which, a buddy of mine had given me a call today. I love this about people. I love this about people that are learning. I should have mentioned this at the beginning of the video. She says, hey, she's an old friend. Like, I saw one of your videos. I never really know what you're talking about, but I like to watch for support. So thank you. And everyone, if you can smash that like button, that'd be super great. And she says, I kind of looked at Veve and I don't really get it, but I know something's there. It's like, what would you recommend? I was like, okay, well, what are you looking for? Do you want to buy stuff that you like, stuff you take pictures with, stuff that will make you the best ROI? She's like, yes, best ROI. I have two kids. I want to pass stuff on to them. I was like, well, the best ROI I think would probably be the their token, the OMI token. I'm like, okay, I heard you talk about that too. I don't get that really, but and I was like, okay, well, and I did my best explaining it to her on her lunch break, and lo and behold, it's $1,000. It's something that's super small, but these people that go and they say, oh, hey, I just need a little bit of people that don't necessarily understand it, but they know that something's there. That's almost I would almost rather that. It's like that famous quote saying, like, he who knows nothing is closer to the truth than somebody whose head is filled with lies. And unfortunately, you have a lot of people that just, I forget that dude's name that talked about James Bond. It's like, oh, thank God James Bond fans didn't fall for this NFT scam on Veve. And it's like, all right, this guy clearly doesn't know what he's talking about. But that's what I mean. When you have some people that come into this cold and blind and they have no idea what it is, they're a lot closer to being right and to the truth than someone that's just, their head is filled with insane propaganda. Anywho, moving on here. I saw this early this morning. A black cat number 66 was minted. I was like, oh, that's really cool. Or no, it wasn't minted. It was just bought. And my whale texted me this morning. He's like, Javi, look what I got last night. And he got the numbers. I was like, that was you. I was like, I thought that was really fun. So that's what one of my whales did, which I thought was interesting. Noldor Alive did not go this week. I guess something was wrong with the Mutascan. He couldn't go and see the top earners, the top people that had bought all the Veve collectibles this week. But Bezojman, over the last 7 days, did buy over 1,000 collectibles again. This is like the 8th week in a row that this person or company of people have bought more than 1,000. Sometimes they buy over 2,000 collectibles per week. But every 7 days, like clockwork, over 1,000. I think they're averaging like 1,400 or 1,500 collectibles per week. It gets very, very wild. So shout out to them for that. The person in second place bought 439 collectibles, and the person in third place bought 215. No numbers on who bought or who sold the most right now. So y'all know the Golden Dragon. This little guy right here of the Golden Dragon Club. Not a crazy floor. It was at 400 at one point, down to 274 right now. We have some more utility. So outside of getting beer once in a while, outside of getting OMI every month, outside of getting the chance to go on a week-long vacation, which we now know as Whale Week, there is even more utility that they're getting. The Gold Dragon Club members will receive a lifetime 70% off code upon request from @RayJGreen. So RAY, J as in Joker, Green, GREEN. Wearable art apparel store. Thanks, Ray. #member utility. Tropical Blues, Salvador T. Other words that I can't pronounce. Wearable art made in Montreal. So shout out to them for being able to go and do that for us. I really, really like that. This community Veve doesn't have to do anything. The community takes care of everything. So there's somebody on Twitter known as Collector, but there's a cookie for the O and the blue heart for an R. And they go on and say, for the Veve Gold and Silver logo utility, I wish it gave us the possibility to burn our logo for one of the collectibles or comics we really want and get it from the pieces that Veve keeps every drop. I think that would be really cool. One, because with one less logo, the family gets smaller, it gets tighter. I was about to sing a Taylor Swift song, but I will not. I love how on TikTok, Swift Talk and NFL Talk have merged because Taylor Swift is dating someone on the Chiefs, and it's been wild on TikTok the last few days. Anywho, I would really like that. I don't know if David would really allow burning of the gold logo because it is super special. And that might not look too good for it if, they're going to burn, they're probably going to burn it for like a Secret Miles Morales. Like, I'm almost positive they would do it for that. Or Secret or Spider-Man, they burn it for whatever they would want. I guess it could be for select collectibles, whichever one that they choose. But I just thought it'd be a cool idea. That's just a good way to burn something that's already super scarce. And as it gets scarcer, price will go up. I said that was actually a really good idea. I thought so as well. So shout out for Veve today for going and selling out the Invincible Iron Man. It sold, like 7,150. Sold a couple thousand copies, made about $50,000 on the day. And this is something that I don't really think had a ton of people really buying for, but shout out to them. It's an easy 50 grand. Speaking of shout outs, we have DC Collectible Comics saying, get ready for Batman number 423, an interwoven tale that explores the complex relationship between Batman and the Gotham City Police. The issue is not just the iconic realm of traditional comics, its artwork also served as the basis for the first ever Batman digital collectible launched on the Veve platform. So shout out to them for giving props where props is due. I will also tip my hat toward y'all because together we all win. And I think that's how we need to do this, and to constantly lift each other up, constantly go and say, hey, you know what, Cryptoys, I like what you're doing. I like what Palm's doing. I like what the Hero does a lot. They're really good to their people. So shout out to those peeps. Also, I think you get on the wait list and a guaranteed one if you have a Bat Cow. So shout out to those people as well. And even David getting in on the big thanks saying, in Todd, we trust. So shout out to him as well. God, I love David. I love him so much. So we might be getting more James Bond stuff soon. There is a little bit of a rumor, and I know a guy that knows this stuff, that Christopher Nolan is rumored to be in line to reboot James Bond with Aaron Taylor Johnson from Kick-Ass as Bond. The movie would be a period piece set in the 1960s. If that does come out, I will be heckin' hyped. So shout out to them if they decide to do that. Something I didn't go over yesterday that I should have is, so as my bad, is The Coming of Hulk. I wish I would have picked a better name, but you know what, that's fine. It's a gray Hulk, orange rip-off shirt, and I assume Levi jeans. I don't really know what type of jeans they are. Looking great in it, though. That airdrop is coming on 29 September, but in order to get that airdrop, you have to have all of the other 4 Hulks. The Hulk, the Maestro, the Red Hulk, and the Planet Hulk between 2 and 4 p.m. on 27 September Pacific Standard Time, so that's between 5 and 7. Honestly, just hold it for the whole day. And then if you do hold it between that time, you will receive that airdrop on the 29th of September. When, I don't know. And be advised, if you go and say, okay, well, Chavez, you say if I hold it between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 27th, that I'll get it, right? Listen, many, 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 many times before, Veve has said you hold the collectible between here and here. Let's say between 12 and 3. At 3:01, you're able to sell, you're good. The snapshot was taken at 3. And a lot of times you're not good. Like a lot of times, like, well, I held it between 2 and 4, or 5 and 7, whenever they're talking about. And then guess what? It I held it. I sold it after I was supposed to, and I didn't get anything. Guys, just hold it, because I've seen that happen so many times. My best advice is to just hold it an extra hour. I typically hold it until I get that airdrop, just because I've seen that before, and unfortunately there's really nothing you can do at that point. Speaking of more Veve announcements, we do have a Black Panther announcement. So it is Marvel Digital Comic Books, Black Panther. It is the Civil War ceasefire. So for those of you that do not know, a little bit of a history lesson here. In Civil War, we have Captain America versus Iron Man. Everyone picks sides. It is one of my favorite runs in the entire world, like in comics history. When you go and you read that, I think Tony Stark actually goes and he tries to recruit everyone. Tries to recruit X-Men, which they stay neutral, and he tries to recruit Wakanda, and Black Panther into the Civil War that's happening in America. And Black Panther gives this epic line. He's like, "We do not like it when the U.S. interferes in our affairs. We can only assume they will not like it if we interfere in yours." And I was like, "Ooh, that is beautiful." So he stays neutral for the entire Civil War. He's not in there, and because the X-Men are kind of a neutral as well, Storm isn't in there as well. So this marriage is the marriage of Black Panther and Storm, and they have a beautiful relationship, and they would have lasted if they would have only just talked. Oh, it's heartbreaking, but it's a really cool comic. Now, that being said, this comic is worth like $50 in a 9.6. This is not an expensive comic. If you want to buy it to read, probably best to just buy the uncommon or the common on a secondary at retail. But be advised, this is such an amazing run. Civil War with all the tie-ins is so good. It's just a really good comic. Is it worth a lot? No, absolutely not. Again, the 9.6 is worth like $50. But in general, I think it's really good. It's just fun to read. Anywho, that's it for me. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Everyone say bye-bye to Dashie. Bye-bye, Dashie. I love you guys. Goodbye. Meow, 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 meow.